Hey kids, so I just wanted to give you a cool lesson on how to make a really simple whole sheet of paper face. I'm actually going to rotate my paper here just like I would hope you would, so that it's facing vertically because it'll be more of a portrait look and that'll be a little closer to what we're going to do for our face here. So all we're going to be doing is using start with a pencil, and then I would go over it in a thick marker, but I'm going to go straight into it with thick black lines. Okay, so you just got to know that you might need to make a few changes on your own. But it's going to be a fun little face. It'll be really cool to do like some emotive stuff with it. It's going to be what we call cubism. So I'm going to start this off and I'll explain it as I go. So the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to draw an eye a little off center on here. So I'm just going to do a really basic almond eye. Okay. So everything doesn't need to line up perfectly here. It doesn't need to look, absolutely stunning, nothing, crazy like that. But I'm going to make it pretty big. And I'm also going to make the iris, which is going to be the curved line inside of the eye right here. Okay? And then I'm also going to put the pupil, which you guys all know, that black circle, which is the hole in your eye that you see from. So once I've created that on there, and I can smooth this out a little bit to make it look a little better. And that's one of the fun things. You're using a dark color like a black or something, you always got to know you can just draw right over it. And if you want to add things like eyelashes onto it, you can. But I'm perfectly happy the way mine was. Although I think I'm actually going to stick with this. I think it's kind of nice. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my nose from the side next to my eye, just like I would. But this is going to be a little cartoony. That's okay. So I'm going to have a nose right here. I'm going to do kind of the nostril. And then why don't I do this? I'm going to make a little loop right here for where the nostril actually is. It may not look like the most pleasant way to show a face, but that is totally fine. And what the whole point of Cubism was, and what was kind of interesting, was that artists wanted to try to start representing people, objects, things from more than one view at the same time. It doesn't really make any sense when you start or stop and think about it, but what that means is that we draw the face here kind of from the side. The eye is from straight on, the nose is from the side. So now on this side, I'm going to mix another part. I'm going to do the mouth from straight on, although it would normally be from the side. So if you want to do it from the side, it would be, whoops, I didn't mean to sample that. Let me just jump forward here, get the black again. So if I was going to do the mouth from the side, there's my lip, there's my mouth right there, and then you got, you could have like a little smile right there if you want to. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to draw my mouth from straight on. So I'm going to do my upper lip right here, and then I'm going to have my lower lip coming down. Okay? And I kind of like that I didn't connect it straight on all the way to the end kind of thing, or maybe the right side is a little longer than the left side there. I think it's kind of a little more interesting that way. And then what we're going to do is we're also going to maintain the eye being visible from the front on the one side, but we're going to pretend the other one is hidden behind the nose. So finishing this out, we're going to actually connect these together. And I think that really does make a big difference, is you want to have some separation here in the different parts of your face. It's okay if your face has pieces that kind of overlap. So I'm going to bring a couple lines to separate my face into different chunks across the paper. And if you want to, you could even do like a little bit of hair right here coming off. And then let's do one more connection, maybe from the edge of the lip here, coming up. Kind of gives it almost a smiley appearance. And then we're going to bring that nostril connected because I just think it looks a little better that way. And let's do one more. Let's make a connection that comes across over here. And so why does Mr. King have these connections? Well, it's because I want to provide areas. Ooh, I'm actually going to connect the nostril to the eye here. I want to make areas that I can color in solid colors. I want to create different kinds of shapes here. So if you want to, you can even use your pattern making skills and you can start making a couple other areas in which you're going to have, patterns that carry over. So I'm going to do a couple of those lines just to provide myself with some more chances to do some cool stuff. And then for you, you're going to use colored pencil, markers, crayons, whatever you can to fill it in. For me, I'm cheating with my computer here, and I'm going to start pulling in colors that I think will look shocking and interesting next to each other. So I'm going to do a little red right there. Let's get some orange so we can get some analogous colors. Those are colors that are similar. We'll do the lip like that. And then we're going to do a couple other things. Let's do this bright, shocking green that really is kind of cool and looks good with that. And then actually I'm going to change that to, whoops, like a blue here on the lower lip. We'll add a little blue above the head. And then we haven't really represented any yellow in here yet. I like how that's a nice warm color for it. And you can see you're just filling in spaces, you're filling in different parts of this, and it's going to come out really bright and shocking. A lot of cool things going on. And I think that's kind of an enjoyable thing. Don't be afraid too. Like I just filled in the whites of the eyes with no white whatsoever. In fact, I'll make it a little lighter just so it kind of still feels like a little more like an eye. But you don't need to worry about it. You can go absolutely bonkers with the colors here. And let's give them a deep blue eye right here. I'm not liking that as much. Go a little lighter. There we go. Oh yes, that's much better. So you guys can see it comes out really, really well. I think it's a lot of fun. And you can just kind of go back into and add other areas of pattern. One thing I might do is, for the lips here, I might do something kind of goofy, like I might add some stripes to it. Oops, a little too long there. And because I don't want the lip to feel like different shapes on every part right there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in. I'm going to get that orange. I'm going to make it a little darker here, kind of like an orangey brown. And I'm just going to do every other one. Well, it's not even quite dark enough. Actually, let's do a real brown here. And we're going to put that in, and it'll just feel like that lip is actually in shadow, because the upper lip potentially would be if the light's coming from above. And I mean, it's just kind of an interesting thing. Let me do a darker yellow over here on the other side of the face too, because that should probably be a little darker to make it look like it's a little bit in shadow. Too dark. Boom. And so you guys can see I'm constantly making mistakes, making errors, and that is totally okay. But yeah, it's bright, colorful, crazy. You can make your face smiling, upset, any which way you want to. But it's kind of an interesting idea, trying to see the same object from multiple angles at the same time. It's kind of like taking pictures as you go around something and then collaging them all back together in the end. So experiment with what you want to do with it. Check it out. I really think it's a cool thing to do for a little either self-portrait or just a face that you want to create. And yeah, have a good time. See you later.